Hello, this is Cynthia Douthit with the Jewish Christian Study Center. Each and every Tuesday night at 6:45 Central Time, we have a call-in class. All you have to do is call 1-862-799-9481, and you can hear the current Torah portion being taught. Tonight, January 24th, we will be looking at the last plagues that Adonai God brought upon Egypt before Pharaoh, a false god, was finally pushed into letting the people go, to let the people have liberty and freedom, the declaration of God's word and his will, to go and follow him and worship him in the way that Adonai God deems fit. Men throughout history that are outside of the scriptures really haven't fared any better than the biblical characters that we see that bring judgment upon themselves. We have looked at Pharaoh to some extent. He did not know the God of Moses, and he was not interested in knowing the only living and true God. In Exodus 5:2, and Pharaoh said, "Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go." Nebuchadnezzar, he demanded that his own image be worshipped, and worshipped by the three Hebrew slaves that we call Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We look through history and we see that Alexander the Great, the Greek ruler who conquered the great Persian Empire, placed himself in the lofty position of God. Just before he died in 323 BC, Alexander ordered every Greek city to worship him as a god. After he died of a fever, people for the most part annulled his command and went about their lives obeying the dictates of other gods. Nero, the fifth emperor of Rome, watched as Rome burned in 64 AD, and many scholars believe that Nero placed blame for the fire on the Christian community in Rome. Jealous for their worship, he sought to destroy them, to cruelly persecute them. And 4 years later, Nero fled Rome as an enemy of the Roman Senate, and life for Nero ended in 68 AD when he committed suicide. Adolf Hitler, the evil leader of the German Third Reich, commanded blind devotion to him and to his cause, forming a society that had no room for Christians, Jews, or minorities. And Hitler boasted, "Nothing will prevent me from tearing up Christianity, root and branch. We are not out against 100-to-1 different kinds of Christianity, but against Christianity itself. And all people who profess creeds are traitors to the people. Even those Christians who really want to serve the people, we have to suppress." Voltaire, a French writer and thinker, was a leader during the Enlightenment period of history, and he was a vocal opponent of Christian thought. His writing denounced the supernatural, religion, and the power of the clergy, and he stoked by an arrogant lack of fear of God. He set his life's course in order to destroy Christianity. Thomas Hobbes, a well-known English philosopher, he set man up to be his own God. And as he lay dying, he screamed out, "I'm taking a fearful leap out into the darkness." This was a man who said that mankind is bad and needed absolute government, and that they needed to give up freedom for protection. We also know the story of Herod. He sought the worship and honor of men, the worship and honor that belonged to God alone. And in Acts 12:21-23, and upon a set day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel, sat upon his throne and made an oration unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, "It is the voice of a God, and not of a man." And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he gave not God the glory, and he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost. As we look at the story of Exodus, of both Jew and Gentile, the mixed multitude being led out of Egypt, and Egypt a picture of sin, bondage in the world, they're led by Adonai, Yeshua, Jesus, in the pillar of fire and cloud as he led them to the promised land. The purpose of the judgments that we see in the book of Exodus, it is Adonai, God creator, bringing judgment upon all the things that man has set up as a God to worship in place of the one true God. The purpose of the judgment was to prove that God is the Lord, the God of salvation, redemption, and deliverance, the only living and true God. And Pharaoh worshiped false gods. And his nation saw the judgment coming upon these false gods. But even more than Pharaoh worshiping false God, Pharaoh himself was considered a god in Egypt. He held supreme power over the land and people. Pharaoh even thought of himself as a god, as the molder and maker of Egypt and his people. And Adonai, God, delivered judgment and led the people out. Just as we know Judgment Day is coming, and there is a time coming when Adonai, Creator, will bring judgment upon the things that mankind is setting up instead of worshiping him and him alone. They are setting nature up to be worshiped. And when we read the book of Revelation, we see the book of Exodus on steroids. Everything that is placed above God will ultimately be judged. And as mankind throughout history has said, I want to ascend higher than the stars and destroy everything that God has created. They know there is a God, and they seek to set themselves up higher than the one true living God. The final verdict is coming. Mankind is on a trajectory course to intersect with redemption that comes through judgment. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll call in for the rest of the story on Tuesday nights, 6:45 Central Time.